Welcome, everybody, on a new podcast with Ray on Reydio, where we cover and uncover every single thing that this society is so uncomfortable to talk about. Well, today we are going to talk about a very crucial subject. Today, we are representing why your 20s are your biggest lie. Well, growing up, just like anybody else, I thought my 20s are going to be so great. I've got everything together. Everything is put, but it turns out to be nothing like that. It was the other way around. And I think everybody would say yes. And this is why I just want to let people know that me right now being 24, I just want to tell these people that are knocking on the doors of their 20s, I just want to let you know, lower your expectations because you're not going to get your shit together at all. It's going to be messy. It's going to be frustrating. It's going to be stressful. And it's going to have its own taste of fun as well. But don't think that there's a chronological path that you are supposed to follow. Like there's no straight line when it comes to your 20s and probably your 30s. I'm not even in my 30s, but maybe when I get to my 30s, I will say something else about the 30s. I personally thought that once I hit my 20s, I'm going to be grown up. I'm going to be old. Like this is the thing that everybody can confirm, which is us thinking that we're going to be old. Like old, like the definition of an old person to 6 years old, you know? That was me. Like that this was the perception I had. So I thought that this is how it's going to look like, but it turned out you're still a child. You're still not figuring out anything. You don't even know where is the office to make those official papers. We don't know any of this. We don't even know the things that we need to have a bank account. It's not that hyped up as we think it is. No, it's full of stress. It's full of surprises because we think that once the number turns into 20, everything comes with it. But no, you have to discover things. And believe me, being 20 and even 24, you are just discovering yourself and the world around you. You're just still learning. Because technically speaking, and about my own experience, and I hope a lot of people can relate to this, being 20 means you're just entering another day, not even a phase. That's the thing. Like it's another day of your life. When we were teenagers, we were not doing anything. We were just eating to grow up, to get taller. Our biggest flex and aim was to look beautiful and have a clear skin with no acne. Literally, this is how life was like. But then when you're in your 20s, people start to have these higher expectations from you. Like, oh, you're in your 20s. Why don't you have a job? Why don't you have a house? Why aren't you, graduated yet? And I have been put in this kind of category because when I first graduated, when I was 23 last year, I thought that once I graduate, I'm going to be happy. But then I realized that I was miserable. Nobody had ever told me about the consequences. I wouldn't even like to call it consequences, but the aftermath of graduation. What is going to happen afterwards? We were told, even by teachers, that once you graduate, and I graduated from university, by the way, for the second time, which is supposed to be a success, but I didn't feel like it was a success because of the people's higher expectations that they had, and they still do, by the way. So I thought that I would be super happy, but I was not even close to any happiness. My happiness lasted for just few hours when I was like, yay, I graduated, but nothing more than that. People will start to ask you a lot of questions afterwards. Where's the job? Like literally like the next week, not even, or probably the next day, because I was asked like the next 3 days. They were like, okay, so what's the plan? Like, bro, like I just graduated a few days ago. What do you mean? What's the plan? It felt like I need to meet the needs of these people, the expectations of these people. And that was so uncomfortable, and I fell for that trap. So you're not alone. We all fell in that trap. We all felt miserable. We all felt like we were not enough. I personally felt that. I felt like I did nothing. Like that I should be flexing with my graduation for years, but I felt like I have done absolutely nothing. And then when you graduate and everything is done, after people start asking you about your future, plans, like the job, they will jump to something very private, which is, okay, where's the husband? It felt like I opened a door of hell, not even a door of success and future or anything like that. People kept bombarding me with questions, and it felt so sad because at some point I had to put on a smile and just listen and shut up. And that was not right at all. Like, that was so unfair. Like, why are you treating people who graduate like that? Why are you so harsh on people that are in their 20s? Meanwhile, once upon a time, you were also in your 20s. Like, why is this generation, not even this generation, we're speaking about the previous generations, are being so harsh on us this way? This is so frustrating. This is so disrespectful and cruel, by the way. I fell into like a deep depression that I didn't even know what to do. I hated my life and I hated myself. So I remember spending a lot of nights crying because I don't even know why I was crying. That's the problem. So I remember just opening my laptop and I was just like, what am I gonna do? I need to find a job. I need to pursue my PhD, which doesn't make any sense because you can start your PhD at any time that you want in your life. There is no age for it. There's no age for education, by the way, because here's the thing. When I was on my first year at university, I have had people studying with us. They were married with kids and they were even in their 40s. You see how life is limitless, and that the chronological line that people and society, when I say people, I'm referring to society, forced us to follow makes zero sense. I mean, let's be honest. You have finished your teen period. You are stressful. You're trying to not even find yourself. You're just trying to grow up. This is it. Grow, not even up. I mean, old. You're trying to grow old, and that's it. No more than that. Then you move to your 20s. People start to expect you to be married with kids and a husband and a house and a job by the time you are 24. I don't know who decided to create the 24 specifically, but whoever did that, like when I was 23, like last year, I've realized I was like, no, I'm lost. Like, there's no possible way that in 2 years, which means now, next year, I'm going to be married and have kids and have a job and everything. Like logically speaking, this cannot happen. Even if I win the lottery, what if I am infertile in the first place? What if I find a husband and he dies in a car crash? Like, do people think about these things? There is something called fate. I've realized that people don't really believe in that at all, because we are controlled by it. We're not controlled by what do you think is right. And that's what people don't really understand. And your life and my life and her life and his life is different. Everybody has their life differently. And everybody has a plan that is different from the other. Some people want to get married so early with no job and no future or anything like that, thinking that marriage is a future. That's their thing. But you should not force me or anybody else to follow you. Because what you may think is correct, it might be incorrect for me. Why don't you try to fit in my sculpture? Why don't you try to fit in my mold? Why aren't you trying to shape yourself to my life? Why do you think that I should shape my life according to yours, which is way different than my life? Like, make it make sense. Literally, this is what I'm trying to say. And then after all this depression that I've been going through, there was a time, it's not really that long ago, but I sat with myself and I was like, listen, I always talk to myself, by the way. I said to myself, listen, you've graduated for 3 years, you've graduated once. And then you've studied extra 2 years and you've graduated for the second time. What makes you think of yourself as a failure and not enough? You've got 2 diplomas, you've graduated twice from university. So tell me, what is the problem with being successful? What is the problem with being that? Like, where does the problem, lay? Where is it? So I found the answer that there's no problem. People are the problem to my own problems, So then I've cried a lot, and then I came to terms with my life. Okay, I was like, okay, remember, you have graduated. It's just 1 year with no job and with no nothing. I personally did that to take a break, by the way. I want to take a break. I have been studying for at least 10 years straight 10 years. I wanted to have a break. And I'm taking that break and I deserve it. So then I felt so stupid. I was like, why am I crying for? Why? What is wrong? I said to myself, Ray, get your shit together. This is wrong. So I cried my eyes out that day. And then I woke up and I got my shit together. I was like, this is it. We're going to live our life. We're healthy. We're happy. We're so fortunate, because I always remind myself that I am better than at least 2 billion people on this planet. Always tell yourself that. Trust me, this is what my dad used to tell me when I feel depressed and all these kind of bullshit. He used to tell me this. He says, Ray, you're better than at least 2 billion people. You should appreciate that. You should not take your life for granted. And he was right about it. Because I didn't really appreciate life. Because this is a lack of appreciation. You know how many people, they wish they enter a school, not even a university, a school? Do you know how many people wish to wake up and walk and breathe and see? A lot. I am healthy. I walk, I speak, I see. My skin is perfectly fine. Imagine if I had a 1st degree skin burn. Imagine if I had no legs. Imagine if I was, if I was kidnapped. While I'm talking to you right now, there are plenty of people that are kidnapped. There are plenty of people that are about to be murdered. And look at us right here. You're listening to me, I'm talking to you, and everything is fine. These are the real thing. I want to tell everybody that is listening to me to be realistic. Be realistic about yourself and your life. See life as its unique and real form. That's the problem. We tend to fantasize a lot. We tend to lie to ourselves. We say that everything's going to be fine and we're going to be amazing. But that's not how life works. You got to hustle. You got to feel sad sometimes. You got to, you got to feel sad and depressed and. This is a part of life. And this is the reason why when we feel sad, we tend to freak out, because we think that everything's supposed to go in a straight line. But this is not how it works. And this is the belief that for a second I have lost. And then I realized that I should, reconsider my faith. Like my faith in life, my faith in God, and everything. I needed to reconsider that. And this is the reason why I was depressed. This is the reason why I was blinded by the judgment of others. And honestly, nobody is perfect. Everyone get affected by what people say. Like we cannot escape that. That's something 100% everybody can face. You know. So for me, I did not accept it. I was like, no, enough is enough. You people cannot keep disrespecting me this way. You cannot keep pulling me down. You cannot keep talking to me like that. No, you don't get to do that. Like, no matter what is the circumstance. Like, I don't care. And then I've realized that I am a better person and that I am a person of success. Like, I succeeded. This is success, Success is not to be hyper rich or anything like that. No, success is anything small that you've done and you felt rewarded for. Success, even if people don't reward you for it, you reward yourself. You feel happy about it. That's success. I've realized that I was beating myself up over things that they don't even exist. Like, I was beating myself up for, oh, I don't care. Like, I want to be this person. This person told me this, I should be that. Like, what is this? Like, for God's sake, what is this? And then when I started to write down things and reread what I'm writing, and that a lot of things started to make sense. My life started to feel better. Like, even my mental health changed. Like, it switched. If you have seen me, guys, I have had a mental breakdown that I was like slapping my face like over and over and over. Like, I didn't even know what I was doing, but if I didn't have that mental breakdown, I would have never, ever be able to open this podcast and talk to you. I would have never been able to do that. And I want to say this, and I'm like, the message behind this podcast is to tell you that you are fine. You are perfectly fine, and you're on your right path. Okay? You're exactly where you want and you need to be. You can't escape 10 stairs to get to the top. There's no possible way. I stopped escaping that the thing that I was going through, which was running away from the truth that is, I'm fine, that you're good and everything. And I was really deluded by what people were saying. So I was chasing basically nothing. Okay? And I was running, but trust me, running away from the truth hits you so freaking hard because there's a dead end to it. The truth will catch you no matter how hard and how fast you run. And then I've realized at that point, I was like, oh God, it's been months and I'm not aware of my health. I'm not aware of myself. I'm not aware of anything, including my clothes, my room. Like, I was so deluded. I don't even know where was I. I was somewhere lost. So I had to really get myself out of that place. And it took me a lot of time. I remember I was working out and I was crying each time while working out. But I was always telling myself, it's okay, Ray. You're doing great. You're trying. That's all what matters. I remember not being able to work out like a full workout. So I do, for example, the first circuit and that's it. And I feel bad for doing this, I feel like, oh no, I did not accomplish what I was trying to do. And then I told myself, it's okay. Like, you are fine. Everything's going to be fine. Today you did that. Tomorrow is going to be different, and so on. And trust me, it takes you a lot of time. And every time you're trying, you feel like you're losing. But at the end, you will win. And you will learn a lot from it. I've learned that you should not take life seriously. Honestly, don't take life that much. Like, don't take life so seriously. It's called life for a purpose. Life is basically scratchbook. This is what life is. Just draw, just try, and like try again and cut off the paper and try again and start new chapter. And this is it. Life is not meant for us to be perfect. Life is not that. Like it's impossible to get it all together. Like it's impossible. Otherwise, this would not be called life. Life is life because it's all about struggling and feeling like shit, and then the next day you're happy, the other you are excited, the other you're sad. This is it. This is why we are living. Do you think that we are living to be unconditionally happy? No. There's no way that we live to be 100% happy. And for that, I came to this point where I started to feel nothing when people talk to me about these things. I started to see them like as freaks, as people, that they don't really understand anything, because anyone that is judging you is a person that basically don't even know you. And yes, they don't know you and they don't know me. Like they don't know anything about me. And before you judge someone, basically consider that you are not allowed to judge them if you're not the one paying their bills, if you're not the one that provided them their food and things like that. And you, the person that is being judged, me and you, you should not be affected by these things. Like try to always filter these things. Like try to understand that not everybody is worth listening to. Not everybody is worth that. Just the same way you don't listen to every kind of music and every singer, don't listen to anybody. And this is why I am telling you that your 20s are not really that exciting. So don't have the highest expectations. Have your own life, create your own peace, create your own little happy life, little happy chapter. Like a pocket where you keep your happiness in, and whenever you need it, you just bring it out. This is the thing that you really need to do. You should not be frustrated and sad and fucked up over these things. You don't deserve that. Always tell yourself, I don't deserve that, and I'm going to chase what I deserve. And always bear in mind that what is meant for you will find you. Trust me, if you are meant to be that person and God has written that you are meant to be that person, you will be. You will be. There's nothing on this earth, there's no power that can change that besides God. And God is not changing that for you. He wrote that you are going to be successful, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be a lawyer, you're going to be a successful YouTuber. I don't know. God has a plan for you and you need to trust God. The moment I started to put faith, oh my God, my life has changed like 360 degrees. Like it changed, completely changed. I became so happy. I felt the patience, like my chest, like the heaviness on my chest and shoulders. It melted away, and it was so happy. And I am happy right now. I trust God. I know if God wants me to be something, He will make me that. But I also have to work for it. Okay? But I also have to not let it go. I don't have to let it go, but I don't really also have to beat myself over something that it might not be meant for me. Your 20s are not complicated that much. It's just the thing that people told us that we thought they were right about it. No. Your 20s are not meant to be that perfect. Your 20s are meant to be full of ups and downs. Your 20s are the path where you are discovering who you are as a person, what do you want to be. You may have a plan and like a wish and a dream that you wanted to achieve since you were a teen, and then when you grow up and you hit your 20s, your mid-20s, and you realize, you say, okay, what the fuck is this? That's not even me. This is the vibe in your 20s. Your 20s are not really that cool, that, okay, I'm grown up, I know what I'm gonna do, I'm rich. No, your 20s are all about self-discovery. You discover yourself. You're trying to know who you are, what do you want to be, what do you want to have. Is this the real job that I want? Are these the people that I want to like live my life with? Are these the good friends for me? Is that the boss that I want to work with? And this is your 20s. 20s are all about picking and choosing and letting go of things that you think, oh, that's right, that's wrong. It's all about testing. Your 20s are your testing era. As we grow old and old and old, we're only learning. Life is all about learning. You learn all the time. And you heal, and you fall, and you get back. And this is it. Before I close this short podcast, which I wanted to make for so long, but today I've got a chance to record this, and this would be my first video here. I want to say that it's going to be all right, and it's going to be perfectly okay. Take it from someone in your same situation. You're going to be freaking okay, and you are okay. You need to have faith in yourself. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself who you are. I am that person. I am that, and I am really in love with myself, and I don't care what people say. And don't rush life. Take it slowly. Take it slowly, and drop the stereotype of, at this age you should be this, at this age. There's no universal rule that says that. There's no religious rule that says that. No, there isn't. People who created age limit are people that are useless and people that hate themselves in the first place. That's the issue. But you should never be like them, because if you are falling for these traps, you're not going to feel successful, and you're not going to see any result, and you're going to fall into it, and you're going to be the same person as these people that you hate, as these people that are telling you that you should be this and you should be not. You should never be like them. Always be the standout. Always be the perfect version of yourself, for yourself. Okay? Whenever you do something, make sure you do it for your own good. Not for her, not for them, not for your parents, not for your favorite person, your crush, your ex. No. Do things for yourself to be happy about it. Okay? Please yourself, don't please people. People will never be pleased, by the way. Do things for your own self to be happy. Make yourself happy. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. I didn't prepare anything on paper. This whole talk is from my heart. I plan to, write things down and, be that kind of a professional. But I felt like, no, like I know what to talk about in this. And I decided to speak from the heart. This is a talk from my heart to your heart. So thank you guys for listening. Make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in another video on another time in another positive heart-to-heart talk.